Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Stuff Podcast, Oscars 2026 episode. My name is David.
My name is James.
I'm Mary.
And this is
And
where we
here we
talk all things Oscars.
Is that why you didn't put the intro at the beginning? Because I was waiting for the intro to start.
So behind the scenes here, I picked like a different studio and it didn't have it set up. So yeah, that's my fault. Yeah, because we don't really talk about stuff outside of Star Wars very often. The Oscars, I mean, Star Wars has won a lot of Oscars, but famously, they did not award George Lucas Best Director. And you just actually recently brought that up at the Saturn Awards, which is funny to hear him talk about. He's got that really famous Charlie Rose interview where he talks about popular films don't win awards, but it seems like the tide is like slowly changing. And the fact so slightly.
Yeah, like Sinners was nominated for Best Picture, and like I think Get Out was like one of the first ones where it was like, okay, they honored a horror film, if you may, and it was a very, very successful film. So yeah, I think you're right, David. I think we are like they're starting to award these bigger movies that are coming out now.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a fun night. Did y'all watch all the Oscars or no?
I went in and out. I was watching it with Michael B. Jordan.
With Michael B. Jordan. Okay, sorry.
With Michael B. Jordan. We shared a double-double. No, I was
that's the picture Mary took.
It on Hulu. No, that was me right behind him.
You're working
was one.
Okay.
That's me right there.
The burger. Yeah, she's in the background making the burger with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh,
okay. Fun fact. If anyone didn't know, I used to work there.
Yep, that's what I was about to say. Mary used to, as she's told me before, you've seen a lot of actors and a lot of celebrities, right, going through there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Before coming on the podcast and doing some of these like being graciously invited to the Saturn Awards and stuff like that. Most of the time I would meet people was through In and Out. Funny enough.
Well, I meet people at Apple, funny enough. So I think this is what happens when you live in Hollywood. You're going to see somebody walking down the street. I literally saw a comedian walking down the street the other day, and I was like, So I am driving to Trader Joe's yesterday. I'm on Santa Monica Boulevard and going west, and then I'm pull up and there's all these cops blocking the road, and I'm like, what is going on here? And it was it said awards permit only on Highland and Santa Monica. Like they had already blocked everything on Highland from Santa Monica all the way to Hollywood Boulevard, and I was like, ooh, good thing I'm not driving anywhere over there, because I can imagine that must have been a nightmare.
Oh yeah, so, I did not visit my Hollywood store this weekend. I made sure that I did not schedule myself there.
It's pretty wild, and if you've ever been to the Dolby Theater and everything, we'll talk about that later. If you've ever been to the Dolby Theater, it's a mall, like where the Oscars are held. It's just a big mall, and if you ever watch the red carpet and them going up the stairs, there's like these giant curtains there. The curtains are there because they're blocking like Sephora, and I think there's another shop right there, and I think there's like an empty stores. So yeah, it's a mall. And when you get up there, if you go right instead of going through the Dolby Theater, Dave & Buster's is right there, and then there's like a pizza place. Johnny Rockets is right, like literally right next door. So whenever I see those curtains, it just makes me laugh, because they're like, don't look, it's nothing, but no, it's a giant shopping center. So that's where the Oscars are held. So
it's nice.
What we're gonna do. A little fun fact. We're gonna have some fun here. David has the list of all the winners and the nominees, and we're gonna go through and give our opinions about the Oscars. But before we get started, Zach says, "Oh, James is here. Did y'all quiz him on The Last Jedi yet? Not yet.
Time marker, please."
We're going to one of these days we'll talk about The Last Jedi. And I was actually watching it today, so that's really funny. But anyways, let's start our Oscar recap. Go for it, David.
All right, so this is off the website The Hollywood Reporter, very trusted one of the best trades out there. So the first category we're going to talk about is best visual effects. So the nominations are Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1, Corbold. Or actually, no, my bad. I read the last name for one of the guys.
Yeah.
I was like, Corbold? I was like, no. The Lost Bus and Sinners.
There was no competition. The opening shot of Avatar: Fire and Ash won the Oscar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as that movie's, you're like, oh, this is the greatest. This is some of the best visual effects I've ever seen in a movie. And everything about that film, it was like, there's like no comparison, really. So I felt bad for all the other nominees when they called them out.
When they were, there was no way anything was going to be Avatar. Like when we saw it in, I think we saw it in Dolby and stuff, wasn't even in IMAX. And there's this scene, spoiler alert, the scene of them in the sky traveling, not on their like in the balloon type things. I was like, this is so visually stunning. I think even like the review I wrote was for Countdown was just like every scene is just like a still and a beautiful painting. So there's just no way anyone else could have won.
And that's Joe Lettieri, right, over there on the
on the far right.
He's the far right. It was like he's been nominated, I don't know how many times, and he's won 6 Academy Awards, 3 for Lord of the Rings, 3 for Avatar. So just letting you know, this dude, when he stood up, I was like, of course, you know, like, yeah. So he's there was no
Jordan. Not Michael B. Jordan, but Michael Jordan.
Pretty much, yeah.
Same guy, right?
Almost the same guy. I saw a post. I saw a post where they were like, you have to be really talented as an actor to have your name be Michael Jordan and nobody ever ask you questions about ever being confused for the famous basketball player, or like, what was it like growing up with a name like Mike? Nobody's ever asked Michael B. Jordan that question just because he's an amazing actor. But anyways, Avatar, much deserved win.
Yes, and I also wanted to add that Joe Lettieri, if you saw the telecast as he was walking down the aisle, he passed by Grogu sitting in a seat, and he was waving too.
God bless whoever was cute, because it was when I saw that, I was the first thing, and I was like, Grogu, he just passed by Grogu sitting there. So yeah. Cool.
He's a movie star now.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So best sound, next category. F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Sirat. What do you think won?
I mean, F1 won. Don't get me wrong. It sounded
that one was
great.
wild to me. Wild to me.
It was good. It did sound great. But compared to Frankenstein, Sinners, and One Battle After Another, I was like, that's pretty crazy that it won over those 3 films. I would have given it to One Battle After Another, only because I saw it in, I think, what Prime, AMC Prime, or like the sound quality is really good. And it sounded tremendous in that theater. When I watched F1, I was like, yeah, I'm expecting this. You know, I was expecting these types of, sounds and the vroom vroom of cars, but nothing mind blowing. So it was weird that this one won.
I was hearing that this movie was a shoo-in because of all the technicalities and all the editing and just the fact that you were in the cockpit of the car, and I think Claudio Miranda, who is gonna be the DP on Starfighter, really concentrated on the fact that they weren't shooting a quote unquote like a race car film, that they were shooting like objects that were flying, and just the whole mechanics of everything. I went to the Circuit of Americas in Austin, and to be that close to a race, it is tremendously loud, all kinds of different sounds. So if they got it spot on, yeah, they definitely deserve to win.
Thank you very much, Zach. I will say technically, like the all of that was really impressive with F1, and like even how Apple gave them camera lenses to put in the driver's seat. So there's angles that you're not used to seeing only because they have these lenses they're able to put in the driver's seat. But the story was really bad. It was not a good movie. I was very disappointed when it was over because it felt like it wanted to be something really really great, and then when it ended, you're just like, all right, cool. Anyways,
Next category, best production design. The nominees were Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners.
Frankenstein won that easily, right?
Mary?
I thought it was One Battle After Another that won that one.
It was Frankenstein.
Mm.
Yeah, that movie was gorgeous. Every frame of that movie was gorgeous. And like when they showed like some of the behind the scenes of Frankenstein's lab, I'm like, they built a lot of that. And it's pretty amazing what they were able to do with that film. So much deserved win, in my opinion.
I think so too. I mean, from everything that I saw, I mean, I don't think any other film. I mean, maybe Hamnet, maybe Sinners, but for me, for production design, yeah, Frankenstein, it's well deserved, and it's interesting that it was one of those films that's from Netflix, and they aired it 2 weeks and not in the major theaters. We talked about this on the Star
Yeah.
Wars Stuff podcast, and it's kind of a weird thing that they can kind of do this and like not have it like widespread in the theaters and just primarily have it on streaming. I don't know. It's I think everyone has different opinions on that, but I wish Frankenstein had a wider release and a longer release in theaters so we could actually experience it on the big screen. But we all know how kind of Netflix feels about all that. So
Yeah, I agree. And
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to watch it in theaters, and it was amazing. With Hamnet, it was there was like maybe 2 or 3 locations of that whole movie. The big reveal, of course, at the very end is the Globe Theater. So I mean, they built that and looked really really good. But compared to all the sets and all the set pieces in Frankenstein, I was like, there's no other way. Like, no one else comes close to the visuals of Frankenstein. So, 'cause you had
Yeah,
a
it was
boat,
really beautiful.
yeah, you had everything in that film. So much deserved. Don't get me wrong, Hamnet was great, but Frankenstein just looked much better.
Mhm. Next category, best original song. The nominees were Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless, Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You from Sinners, Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verde, and Train Dreams from the movie Train Dreams.
Dude, if
I
anything
haven't.
other than K-pop Demon Hunter won, it would have been a miracle. That movie blew up. That song blew up. Like I had never seen so many cosplays within a week of that movie coming out.
It's very true.
I
And it
agree.
made a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
was.
money, right? Like
Yeah,
when
it
it
was
was in
definitely the
theaters.
song. Go ahead, James.
No, I was gonna say I thought it made a lot of money when it was in like. Did it make money in theaters or I don't know? Like it came out and people
Yeah.
talked about it, and then
It
everyone
got
was talking
released
about
on
this.
Netflix.
Yeah, okay,
It was
that's right.
released on
I didn't see
Netflix and it did so well on Netflix and became so popular that they did the sing-along version in the theaters and it sold out across the nation.
that's pretty hardcore, and I like
Correct.
that a lot.
It is. I
Oh,
had
and
some friends on Instagram say like they were into K-pop Demon Hunters and they were hyped up about the sing along as well.
I can imagine some. Never mind, I'm not gonna make that joke. Anyways, Adam on YouTube says it was very sad that when the guy tried to start his speech, they immediately cut him off for Golden,
Yeah.
which is very true. I've heard that was like a big problem. Everyone was like, okay, so you had all these skits and bits in between, like the Bridesmaids one, which was great reunion with all the cast of Bridesmaids, but that went on for like 5 minutes, it felt like, and I'm like, well, you could have made that like a minute and then given someone an opportunity to speak on the biggest night of their careers, so
Right.
that was a little bit of a bummer. I agree.
Well, so the opposite side of the spectrum on that, James, is the fact that they tell the the potential winners that they have an allotted amount of time, and if a group goes up, you have to pick one person to speak, and they all break that rule, and they all give them some grace to actually say something. But then, of course, they're up against the clock because it's a live program, and they got to get their advertisers paid or shown on the screen. So it's kind of like a 50-50 type thing. It's like, yeah, you win an Academy Award, and that's the highest achievement that you can get, and all the next generation, the generation after that, and your family's going to be talking about it probably. So, I mean, it's just one of those things that it's, yeah, you cannot take up more time than you're allotted. And yeah, it looks really messed up on TV. I think they did it
unless
a couple of times.
But don't get me wrong, I understand that 125%. But it's when you do these long bits that you're just like, there's no, like Bill Pullman and his son Louis Pullman's bit. I was like, I don't understand what the joke is right here and why they're taking up all this time.
They have a lot of time for that, so they have a lot of time for everything, and it always runs long and it always screws up someone. I think someone loses out as far as like advertise. I think it's advertisers, but I mean, you know, who cares about advertisers when you're a viewer, you know? So, I mean, but
unless you're Adrian Brody, you don't have a time. And I think that's what makes me upset is like the actors and actresses, there's no limit. They can talk for however long they want to talk. But everyone else, it's like, get off the stage.
I heard someone earlier said today that if they go long and they like try and make it about them, they should just start playing the music, and if they keep on talking, just pull a trap door or something.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
All right. Next category, Best Original Score. I think we all knew who was going to win this. Begonia, Jerskin Fendrix, Frankenstein for Alexander Desplat, Hamnet, Max Richter, One Battle After Another, Johnny Greenwood, and of course Sinners, Ludwig Göransson.
Our boy.
I mean, yeah, there was no. I mean, don't get me wrong. One Battle After Another did sound really good and unique, but yeah, once you watch Sinners, you go, okay, yeah, this is great. this sounds amazing.
Oh yeah,
and yeah,
the scene in the barn where all the different generations and types of music and dancers and art come together. That whole musical little 5 minutes is so beautiful.
Oh yeah,
like there's no way anyone else could have won that.
I agree.
Yep. And it is a three-peat for Ludwig because he won prior for Black Panther, and he won for Oppenheimer.
I always forget he did Oppenheimer.
And he's doing the Odyssey, so he might end up with 4 here by next year.
I always feel like when I think of him, I always think he's John Williams incarnate before John Williams left. Whenever I listen to him.
He's like a mixture of Hans Zimmer and John Williams to me. Like he's pretty, and also Zach just pointed out he's about to do Mandalorian and Grogu. So there's a possibility he might even get another nomination and maybe even a win for Mandalorian and Grogu score for next year's Oscars.
Can you get 2 nominations in the same category? Like, could he get a nomination for Odyssey and for Mandalorian?
Yes.
Oh.
So, but the problem when you have, it doesn't feel fair, but unless you're Ludwig, I think everyone understands because he's probably going to deliver on both of those projects. But the problem I've seen with Oscars in the past is if you have if you're in the same category or if you have the same movie within the same category, you split those votes and somebody else actually wins. So
yeah, that makes sense.
In a way, you're kind of like, I want him to get recognized, but also no, because I already know Odyssey's got to sound amazing. You know what I mean? Like that's probably going to be a shoo-in. And Alex on YouTube, Ludwig and Ryan, they met in college. Ryan Coogler and Ludwig met in college, and they said it was reversed. Ryan Coogler had the long hair, and Ludwig had short hair. and they met each other, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I like music," and that was it. And also Ludwig.
Yeah, I think they met like at a party.
Yeah, it was at a fraternity in the USC,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess that's a cool story to tell to people, you know. But and then Ludwig met Donald. I always want to say Danny Glover, but that's somebody else. But anyways, Donald Glover on Community, because Allison Brie was like, "Oh, Ludwig's here, Donald. He's the composer. He does some of the music for Community. Y'all two should meet and maybe y'all can jam or something." And then now we have all these amazing songs from Donald Glover and Ludwig. So I think that's also pretty amazing.
If you're interested in their story, Amy Poehler's podcast, Good Hang, she does a whole interview with Ryan, and it's really good. You learn a lot about him and stuff. And like, I think she interviews Ludwig right before. Like her thing is like, yeah, you talk to the person's friend that you're interviewing, and you get questions and backstory from them. So if you're really interested in both of their like history and dynamic together, I would highly recommend that episode on her podcast, Good Hang.
True. Zach, fair point. I'm just want to say that. Fair point. You can't even argue.
I also want to say, fun fact, that Ryan Coogler was an NFL player for the Atlanta Falcons briefly. So, yeah, he was a wide receiver at his college there. So, yeah, he's a pretty athletic guy. But, yeah, he wanted to chase his dream. And it's crazy that, yeah, Ludwig was his roommate. It's like, what are the odds of that? But yeah, he is the man now. I think, yeah, like Mary said, he is taking over for John Williams, and he is a mix of Williams and Zimmer. So he's very young. So yeah,
he's very young. I think he's our age, or maybe
I think he's younger.
What was it? He did Tenet. That was the first like non-Hans Zimmer movie Nolan did, was Tenet. And that was where Nolan was like, "All right, I like your style." And then they did Oppenheimer after that.
Yeah. Can you guys tell like we have a crush on Ludwig?
Well, I mean, listen to his music; it's incredible. And then the theme for Mandalorian. I mean, good grief! The moment you heard that little recorder playing, remember that first moment when the door opened up and you hear that? It was like, whoa! This is good. This is Star Wars. It's different, but
I
it's
said
Star
we're in
Wars.
a Western. We've walked into a Western.
And he had the bravery to think up that, oh, this would what kind of instrument should I create this very first ever Star Wars TV show score with? And he's like, oh, a recorder. It's like the musical instrument they give us in elementary school. But it was like a huge version of it.
Yeah, it's a bigger, yeah.
Did you guys do that? I never got to do that. My school was
they all gave us recorders, yeah.
In Texas, I think that was a requirement.
It's a weird Texas thing.
It's a weird Texas thing. But
California, they said you either pick up a guitar or get out.
Wow. Maybe that's why you guys got a better like music scene. I don't know. But that can be debated as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, there's a lot of music stuff in Texas. Did I have like a Chalamet moment there? I don't know.
Be careful.
Yeah. All right, next category. Best makeup and hairstyling. We have Frankenstein. We have trying to pronounce this. It looks like it's an Asian film. Kukyuho. Sinners, The Smash Machine, The Ugly Stepsister, and of course,
no competition. You know what I mean? Like, good grief! And I didn't know this until after the movie came out, but Mia Goth plays two people in Frankenstein.
Oh yeah,
and I never knew that until she said, "Oh yeah, I played this other role," and I was like, "Okay," I had no idea that was her at all. But yeah, so. And plus, Jacob Elordi looked amazing as the creature.
Yeah.
Who was it? Monster. I forgot. I think I was having this conversation with you, James, that they used Jacob Elordi versus the other guy. I already forgot his name.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. No. The guy who's
That
like
is a fun fact.
known.
Oh, I apologize. Well, he had replaced him, but no, we were wondering why Doug Jones didn't play the creature, which would have made sense for Guillermo del Toro to do, but I think Jacob Elordi did a great job. And then I think Doug Jones has been asked that question, and he's like, I think Guillermo wanted someone younger and better looking, and he goes, but Jacob Elordi. He says Jacob Elordi was incredible, and he's proud of him for that role. And I think, once you watch that movie, it's incredible. Yeah,
I mean, Jacob Elordi is a massive dude. He's 6'5" and muscular. So, yeah, I think you made the right pick there. And he's like one of the
Andrew Garfield, but he was a last minute replacement though. Jacob Elordi.
Well, Andrew Garfield was Frankenstein, not Frankenstein's monster, and Oscar Isaac replaced Andrew Garfield. No,
I've heard the other voice. The other voice, the other way. Let me Google it right now. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
Zach Netzel, I believe, one of our awesome Patreon members. He says lots of laughs. Sorry to distract y'all. Keep up the good work. My son really likes James's voice. Every time he speaks, he turns his head toward the TV.
Cute.
I don't like that. Just kidding. I don't know what to say.
Your voice soothes children.
Andrew Garfield was originally cast as the creature in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. So yeah, it was Andrew Garfield. And I've seen interviews, and they said that was a huge, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like huge news for Guillermo when Andrew Garfield had to back out, because a lot of stuff was already in motion with Garfield to play that role. So they had to pivot, and Jacob Elordi was perfect for that role. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that.
Interesting. All right. Thank you for correcting me, James. Now I know.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I thought it was the other way around. I thought Oscar Isaac was like second pick, but apparently he was the first pick. All right.
Who wouldn't want Oscar Isaac to play Victor Frankenstein? Come on.
Right. Yeah, initially we weren't going to talk about this category, but there was some history made here for best live action short. There was actually two winners. It was a tie, and it was funny when Kumail Nanjiani came on the stage and opened the envelope.
Keep calm.
He's like,
keep calm.
It's a tie. I'm not joking here. I'm serious. This is a tie, and keep calm. We'll
get through this.
He's like, I'm gonna call it the first winner. They're gonna come up. They're gonna step to the mic, and then we'll call it the second winner. So I'm glad he kind of like explained it, and everyone was like, okay, cool, and it was a cool situation. I mean, we rarely see ties. There's only been a handful of times we've seen a tie.
I think this is the sixth time it's happened in all of Oscar history.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that is like so rare. And I like the fact that Conan at the after the award, he's like, thank you to the winners. They just ruined every single Oscar pool in the world. So nobody got an accurate prediction of the winners. So for best live action short, we had Butcher Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva. So
I know Two People Exchanging Saliva won.
Yes.
Can't remember the other one.
And The Singers. James, we lose James. So yeah, I mean, I kind of explained it for you. Yeah, we had a tie. I don't think a lot of people have seen these two live action shorts, but apparently they're very good.
They won Oscars.
Yeah. I'm not sure how many live action
no one can
shorts.
Pick.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many live action shorts get submitted, but they seem like the cream of the crop. I know for The Singers, the gentleman that stepped to the mic, he said he used real live singers. There's a non-actor that was up there, and he's holding the Oscar in the picture here that I have. And then the people for Two People Exchanging Saliva, I think that was one of the ones where they started to play them off. So, yeah. Here's a picture right here. And like I said before, they tell people in advance, okay, if a group comes up, you have to pick one spokesperson. They get to talk. That's it. There's a time limit. Then they need to step away. And of course, you've just won one of the most amazing awards you can ever win. And it's like if you want to talk, I mean, there's no other situation where you're going to get to talk about your Oscar in this setting. So it's kind of just a catch-22 type situation. But yeah, congratulations to these people. I think Riz Ahmed also won in this category, who played Bodhi Rook. So he's an Academy Award winner. And he was actually at South by Southwest as one of the keynote speakers. Didn't get to see it, but he is an Academy Award winner to tie in Star Wars to it there. So
nice.
Yeah.
See, we're still talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, we'll weave it in now and then.
Well, yeah,
James,
we'll find a way.
Yeah, the Force finds a way. James, did you have any opinions on best live action short and the fact that there's a tie?
Unfortunately, no. I know people knew who like those people, but I personally didn't watch any of those films, so I apologize. I don't have any say on those.
All right. Next category. Best film editing. We have F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
Yeah, for me, there was no comparison with the editing. I immediately, like in my little Oscar ballot I filled out, I was like, One Battle After Another is totally the winner of best editing for this one.
Yes, that is correct. One Battle After Another. Warner Brothers, Andy Jurgensen is the winner, and there's his picture on the screen.
And yeah, if you've seen that movie and the pacing of it, the way it's put together, the way the action builds, the way the tension is building, it's incredible. And it's a movie. And when I first watched it, I didn't even notice how long the movie was. The movie just keeps going and never slows down. And even when it is slowing down, it's still very, very engaging. And yeah, I think for me, that was the clear winner from the beginning. Cool. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, later on down the show, yeah, you probably can't really argue it. But moving on to the next category here, we want to talk about best costume design. The nominees were Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. And Frankenstein was the big winner here.
As they should have been.
As they should have been. Don't get me. I mean, here's my thing with Avatar. I'm like, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. Like, you know what?
Like, what costumes are they putting on?
Well, I mean, they had to build those. They had to build those costumes and then like design them and build them and then like put them on people. And like, there's a whole process that goes into that. But then you have these amazing artists from Weta and ILM who are, putting the costumes on these characters that were designed. And it feels like there's a disconnect between what came before and what the movie is, meaning it's not really costumes. You know what I mean? Like you didn't build the costumes. You were not seeing them in the movie. I think there's, the people wear the uniforms and normal clothes, and Spider hardly wears anything. So it's a funny thing where you're like, I get it. The costumes look amazing, but I don't understand the nomination for it. But when you watch Frankenstein, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Like if I walked into a costume museum and they had the Avatar suits in there, I'd be like, what the heck is this? This is not a costume. This is equipment.
Here's what won Frankenstein the Oscar, though. It was Oscar Isaac's red gloves he wears in the movie. Like that was just such a good touch that he puts on these red leather gloves, and I was like,
it's the Michael Jackson touch.
Yep. Oh, and he even has
Michael
a hat
Jackson
too.
concept.
You're right. Yep.
It's the Michael Jackson concept. That's why they gave him like white socks with his loafers to stand out, and the red jacket.
There we go.
Always do one pop of red.
They knew. But yeah, awesome. much deserved. And there's a really great moment in Frankenstein. I don't want to give anything away, but there's a dress being worn and the way it's shot and the way the colors are blending with the dress, it's insanely gorgeous. And it's one of those shots that you're like, only Guillermo del Toro could have like done that. And so yeah, much deserved win. Oh, Michael Jackson. Y'all are great.
All right, the next category, best cinematography. The nominees were Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Train Dreams, and the winner was
Definitely not Marty Supreme.
Sinners.
Yep.
The big winner, Autumn Durald Arcapa.
And one thing they didn't even announce until later was she is the first woman to win Best Cinematography in the history of 98 years of Oscars. She is the first woman to win. She isn't the first nominee, but I thought that was an incredible moment. And she was up against, One Battle After Another and Frankenstein, which, I mean, both of those movies are incredible, but this was a clear winner as well, in my opinion.
Yeah. Congratulations. Happy Women's History.
Yep.
There we go. And they do something in Sinners, which has been done before, but they change the aspect ratio for a very pivotal moment. And the way it's almost as good, not gonna lie, it's almost as good as when Favreau did it in Mandalorian season 2, episode 1, where in Mandalorian season 2, episode 1, when the crate dragon comes out, as it's coming out, you see the aspect ratio rise up. And
Goes from horizontal to vertical.
Yep. And then in Sinners, when they open the door, you see it just. And I remember when that moment happened, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be really cool." And sure enough, it was amazing. But yeah, so I thought that was a good win.
All right, next category, best casting. It's the first time ever we have this category at the Oscars, so the first ever award given out. The nominees were Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. And One Battle After Another did win.
Yeah.
My wife called that. I thought Hamnet was going to win only because the kids in Hamnet, if you haven't seen it, the kids are insane. Like, they are such great actors in Hamnet. But my wife said with One Battle After Another, she said every person in that movie was playing somebody they've never played before. Like, you wouldn't think Sean Penn would play this disgusting person, or thank you, Zach, or if DiCaprio would play that role. And I was like, interesting. And then when they called her name, I was like, oh, okay, I guess it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think it took a long time for this casting category to get added to the Oscars. I think because casting, they always say, is like 90% of the film success. It's a big deal. And it's funny when she got up there and she started talking in her speech, and she mentioned her name is Cassandra Kulukundis. She said it's incredible that
cool
I
name.
won. What's that?
I said that's a cool name.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, I can't believe I won this, and I can't believe that I won an Academy Award before Paul Thomas Anderson.
Nice.
I thought that was really good. So,
but
yeah,
but I'm glad there are.
her.
Yeah, like David said, it's one of those categories that should have been there from a long time ago. I mean, you look at some of the best movies you've ever seen, and you're like, the casting of that was, part of that. Like, look at The Godfather. It's like that movie didn't get anything for, like that category wasn't around, but you look at that cast now, it's like, that's tremendous. Somebody had to have watched every single video of or seen every audition to cast that movie. So I'm glad that it's there now.
Next category, best animated feature. You had Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. And of course, I think we all knew it. The winner, K-pop Demon Hunters, Netflix.
I really thought Zootopia had a chance with that one, though. Zootopia really came out of the gate pretty hot.
I didn't see either of the movies, unfortunately. I know I'm terrible. I
Zootopia
saw
was
Elio.
yeah, yeah. There was a little bit of controversy with that one, but I think as far as like making all the money, Zootopia made all the money at the box office. So yeah, like Mary said, you figure they're in the hunt there, but I think just K-pop Demon Hunters just had too much momentum, too much popularity. It was
Yeah.
a bit of an anomaly, and it was what everyone was singing and talking about.
Especially Mary.
Incorrect.
You know,
Incorrect.
Zootopia, the first one, was the second highest rated the second highest grossing original film of all time was Zootopia. And I thought that was crazy. Anyways,
That is crazy. You're right, James.
as a 25-year-old man, I can confirm that K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack is a bop, and that's Zach Netzel. Zach, you don't have to keep saying how old you are, man. Jeez. Just leave that.
He
Like every time I
texted
talk
me
to Zach,
today.
Zach always said, did he say I'm 25, by the way, Mary? Just want to throw that out there.
No.
No?
Today
Okay.
he texted me that his birthday was coming up soon and that how he was turning 26. And I was like, dude, I keep forgetting the age difference between us. I need you to start lying and tell me you're in your 30s. I need you to start
Okay.
lying to me.
You want to hear something really sad that I just saw on TikTok?
Just kidding.
Grease, the movie takes place in 1958, right?
Okay.
The movie Grease came out in 1978. So it was a 20-year gap between when the movie takes place and when it came out. They said it is now the same gap as when the first episode of High School Musical came out to now. Like it's been 20 years of High School Musical. So now when
Like Tim Allen and the Santa Claus.
Yep. We'll be talking about High School Musical the same way your parents are talking about Grease. Like, oh yeah, everybody used to dress like this. Everybody used to drive these kinds of cars. Now, when people watch High School Musical, we're gonna be like, yeah, people used to dress like that. People used to drive, so it's.
I don't feel like it's
welcome.
changed that much. I feel like the 90s and early 2000 vibes are back in fashion.
We're bringing it back.
We're definitely the echo age.
We are the echo. Well, because we loved so much of everything growing up that we're like, we don't want to get rid of that because everything else in the world is not great. So let's just hold on to a little bit of something. So yeah.
Next category, best original screenplay, and the nominees were Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
Not Marty Supreme.
Although I did hear somebody say Sinners should have said adapted from never mind, I'm not gonna make that joke either. But yeah, Sinners was a clear-cut choice for me for that category.
Ah, Ryan. He's a handsome dude.
Did you see the guitar in his hair?
No.
That's a blues guitar.
It's a blues guitar. Yep.
I love that. I love
and
that.
I think he had the note in the back of his head too.
I love when people dress on theme. Like that is so perfect to me. Also, our DJ dressing on theme. I love it.
But yeah, good win for him. Okay. Oh yeah, he dressed for theme as well. He came out in green.
Really green. Yep. Green ring.
Watch. Why does he look significantly younger?
I know he got younger.
I'm pretty sure like everyone hit up their plastic surgeon the day before.
Did something.
I wouldn't say he looks younger. I think he just looks the same. Robert Downey Jr. just looks the same for the past like 8 years. In my opinion.
Know, James. I agree with Mary. He did like age backwards a little bit because he was looking a little bit older, like he was getting on the older side, and finally hit like that like threshold where he took the leap to the next level of.
He looked more distinguished,
and he's moved the clock back like a few years somehow. Maybe he just colored his hair or something. I don't know.
No, I think he was stressed out before because I think he was going through something with his like father, I believe.
And stuff. And he was recently, yeah.
That's right. I think that's probably why he started to look older, like being a caretaker and going through that part with his dad. And then now that he's gone past that, like he's starting to look better, but I also think like he lost a lot of muscle mass. So he looks thinner.
Yeah.
He lost a
sure.
lot of muscle mass from the time he was doing Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
So.
I never saw the movie, but someone pointed out that in 2006, he was in Disney's The Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen. And at that point, Tim Allen was a bigger star than Robert Downey Jr. was when that movie came out.
Oh, yeah.
2 years later,
was that when
Iron
he was
Man
still on
comes.
drugs? Oh,
No, this was his like
sober
this was-
RDJ.
Yeah, he was coming. I think he did a movie with Mel Gibson, gave him like his first gig, and then he got like the Shaggy Dog. He did a movie called Charlie Bartlett, which I thought was a great movie.
That is.
And then it was like, oh, look at him, he's coming back. And then once Iron Man hit, that was it. He was out of the stratosphere at that point.
Zach, he's been sober for decades.
Yeah, he's been sober for over 20 years. Over almost 20 years already. So
yeah, he's been sober for a while.
For me, Zach says Weird Science. I think for me, what was my first Downey Jr. movie? My mother watched there's some movie with him and Marissa Tomei in it. He was like young. It's like
he's like troubled, right?
Oh, it was Only You. That was the movie, Only You. That was like my mom's favorite movie. And one of my favorite memories, my mom is coming home one day from like school or something, or no, it was after school. She's coming home one day and she's watching Iron Man because she loved Robert Downey Jr. that much. She's like, he's back. Anyways, what do we got?
Was that her celebrity crush?
I think so. The more time that passes, I think it was Robert Downey Jr. because she had a lot of his movies. There's a lot of his movies she used to watch. So yeah.
My mom's celebrity crush while I was growing up was Van Damme. She loved Van Damme. She would watch all his movies.
Incredible.
The time.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So I just want to thank everyone on Instagram that's watching us right now. There's a lot of people over there.
Oh,
Swiss
hi.
Chocolate Juan says, "Oh, hi guys! I finally caught you guys live for once. Awesome. Thanks for catching us live. Even though we're talking about the Oscars and not Star Wars, like yeah. But yeah,
we
back
can
to
make
Ryan
Star Wars.
Coogler. back to Ryan Coogler. So I think Ryan Coogler. I think there is a thing in Hollywood where there are like individuals that are already like made as far as talent wise. I think Ryan Coogler was already there. I think the Oscar just kind of cements him and kind of justifies what everyone thought already, that he was like a tremendous talent. The movie Sinners, I think, yes. I mean, 16 Academy Awards, set the all-time record, beat Titanic and Ben-Hur and all those other movies. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that he finally got an Oscar. And of course, his film won a lot of Oscars last night. So yeah, he's one of the guys for sure now that is one of the sought after directors, because there's always that list of directors like Christopher Nolan and PTA and David Fincher. I think he's part of that group now. This kind of cements him. So
yeah, when I saw Creed, I remember thinking this dude is good.
Yeah.
Like I was
blown
away by Creed. I loved that movie. So yeah, good for him.
So congrats to him finally with an Academy Award. All right, Best Adapted Screenplay. The nominees were Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. And of course, Paul Thomas Anderson finally won his first Oscar for One Battle After Another. Thoughts?
They cleaned house. One Battle After Another just cleaned house.
He cleaned house. He had a
Yeah.
It is weird because he adapted There'll Be Blood. He wrote the screenplay to Boogie Nights. He wrote The Master. Tremendously amazing movies. And it was like none of those movies won him an Oscar for anything. But this was his first Oscar he won, was for adapted screenplay. And I think that's wild.
And yeah, he totally commented on like how hard it was to get in this club.
Have you heard the thing where it's like directors who needed DiCaprio in their movies to win their first Oscar?
Oh my gosh.
It was James Cameron, Martin Scorsese, and now P.T. Anderson.
That's interesting. Wow. Mary, you want to chime in here?
Oh. Yay. I don't have much to say
Did you
about
see
it.
one after another? No. Did you see? Did
I
you watch the
did.
movie?
I did.
Oh, she didn't like it.
I wouldn't say that. It couldn't hold my attention. Like, I had to double screen it most of the time I was watching that.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
okay. You can't deny that PTA is one of the greatest directors, screenwriters of all time. A lot of his stuff
Sure.
is hit or miss for me, but he is responsible for the funniest thing I've ever heard on a podcast.
Please tell me.
The absolute, like, I was driving and I almost had to pull over because I was laughing so hard. I'm not sure if I should say it on the podcast though, but
Apparently it was
Is it
already
about
said on
him?
the podcast.
and I probably have
about
to get
him
the story
talking-
straight before I tell it. But if you
Quentin Tarantino?
no, okay.
That's another story.
So yeah, there's lots and lots of stories, but I'll kind of paraphrase what he said. So, and it's weird to see him in this context, but he was at a high school football game, and he was talking to the podcaster, and he was asked, "What is the one word that?" And I might be getting this wrong, but in essence, he was like, "What's the one word that irks you that you might never use in a screenplay or want to have one of your actors speak?" And it wasn't moist, Mary. It was
damn.
It was nevertheless.
Nevertheless,
because PTA said he had a history with this word, and anytime he heard nevertheless, he could not help but to audibly laugh about this word, because he said many years ago he was at a high school football game. It might have been like a relative was playing high school football, and it was a small school. So he was sitting in the bleachers watching this football game. And the PA announcer was announcing the game. He was announcing like who was injured and who was like the scorer and all the stuff that the PA announcer announces. So essentially, the PA announcer could hear dialogue in the stands, could hear people talking. And PTA was just sitting there. And one of the parents, I guess a couple of parents were like kind of like verbally like telling each other stuff. They didn't like each other. And he was listening to the argument. The PA announcer could hear the argument. And the PA announcer called out someone on the field, said like number 84, and said the name. And one of the parents shouted out very clearly, let me see if I can get this right. I know I'm telling this long story, but one of the parents said something to the effect of he basically referred to his mother, okay, out loud. So the PA announcer took that line of dialogue in consideration and said over the PA, nevertheless, and then continued announcing the game.
That's amazing.
And PTA is like, he could not stop laughing for that whole game. And yeah, it's just weird to see PTA at a football game. To know.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I went to a football game and PT Anderson was. The funny thing though, okay, so you've seen One Bad After Another, right, Mary? The ending of the movie, the car chase, is a very unique style of a car chase. It's the way the camera moves and the camera angles and everything. And everyone was like, "Man, I was riding Radiator Spring Racers at Disneyland, and it reminded me of the ending of One Battle After Another because the way the hills go up and down."
I could see that.
Somebody found the picture of Maya Rudolph and P.T. Anderson on the ride, riding the Radiator Spring Racer. So it's funny to think like he was probably on that ride going like,
"Yeah, I'll do this.
I can make this. Yeah, I'll do this." But before we go on from PT, I mean, he won 2 more awards last night. But there's a great story about him and Tarantino hanging out. And I don't want to say the celebrity's name. You can look it up. But she said she was hanging out with Tarantino and P.T. Anderson, and they were just going off about movies, history of movies, movies they love, why they love movies. And she said after that night, she never wanted to do cocaine ever again.
Oh my
And she said, I've been sober ever since that night. And I can just imagine hearing both of those dudes talking about film history, film theory, and like these obscure movies you've never even heard of, and like going deep into these films. And yeah, so I just think that's a funny story too.
Why don't you want to say her name? It's like a very public story.
Oh, okay. It was Fiona Apple. Was the one.
Whoa.
You know. Yeah.
You've never heard that story,
That's
David?
That's a great story.
I have heard the story. I just forgot the singer or the person.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, next category, Best Supporting Actress. The nominees were Elle Fanning, Inga Ib's daughter, Lela Ias from Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan in Weapons, Wunmi Mosaku in Sinners, and Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another. And the winner was
Amy Madigan
for Weapons.
I feel bad for her because every time I see her, I just think of her and Uncle Buck. Like, that's it. Her and Uncle Buck is all I can. Shanice Kablonsky or whatever.
I wonder how many people in the chat know what Uncle Buck is.
Shanice. Yeah. Okay. In the comments right now, let us know if you've seen Uncle Buck. And if you have, you're amazing. Yeah. But yeah, Janice. But yeah, anyways, Amy Madigan won. It was a Shanice or Janice?
Shanice. I just recently saw it.
Shanice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Shanice won an Oscar. And I didn't see this movie. It's not my type of film, Weapons. But I saw clips of her and I was like, holy smokes. I was like, she looks nothing like she, you know what I mean? Like a complete transformation into somebody, another person, and kind of creepy. What did you like it, David?
I did not see that one.
Okay. So yes, I saw Weapons, and I mean, me growing up, I wanted to be a filmmaker. And when I see the reactions to some movies like this movie Weapons, to me it felt like so straightforward and simplistic, and it's like, oh my gosh, this film is so revered. It felt like I could have made this movie with my friends. It was still a good movie and everything, but that character, and I think in horror you always want to find your villain and make them iconic, and I think they created an iconic villain or antagonist in this, because of course I believe there's going to be like spin-offs off of Weapons with I think it's a prequel series about her character, and she's got the red wig, she's got like bangs, and she's got like the over-the-top makeup on with a big like old person glasses. And once you see the film, it's a good film. I definitely recommend you check it out. It's a good kind of scary, kind of twisted movie. It's very suspenseful, and you try and figure out the mystery as you're watching the beginning of the movie. It's like, well, what's happening? Why is this happening? And it slowly kind of unfolds, and it unfolds in a really good way. But it's one of those movies when you see it, you really can't experience it again, because you kind of get the whole big reveal, and you know why these kids are running through these windows. I think, as we all have seen already. And it's cool the way they actually put that all together, because it wasn't kids running through those windows. Those were actually adults, just smaller sized adults. And they filmed them from the back, so they could technically run through these windows and not, and they're actually professional stunt people doing it. And then when they filmed them from the front, it was actually the kids. So it's pretty amazing. So yeah, I think it was well deserved. She was she really did hold the screen, and when she played that character, nothing like what she is in real life or in any media you've seen. So it's very terrifying.
And she's married to Ed Harris, which I never knew until this whole Oscar season. I was like, I never knew that.
And it's been a while too. She's been with
Yeah,
him
they've been married for a long time.
Yeah, you can see older pics of them at award shows, and they're a lot younger together. So, yeah, very cool.
The way she said, he's been with me for a long time, or he's been with me for forever, which is a long ass time, or something like that. That was a good quote from her.
Yeah, and she's been in the business for a very, very long time.
Yes. And this is like 40 years. Like she was nominated like 40 years ago, and then now she's nominated again. So
yeah. And I think there's time for all the other nominees actually to come back and actually win a statue. So I think this was well deserved and very well deserved for horror. The Academy doesn't really recognize horror that much or too much, and I think this is a big win for that genre. And a lot of people commented on that, and I was like, yeah, I mean, definitely. I really didn't see it. I didn't see the movie as like the horror movie that's nominated. I just saw it as a dramatic performance, and I think that's the way everyone else saw it, and she was rewarded for it. The next category is an interesting one: Best Supporting Actor. Benicio del Toro, Jacob Elordi, Delroy Lindo, Sean Penn, and Stellan Skarsgård. That's a pretty stacked category.
That was a beyond stacked category. And for me, and I hate to say it, there was one clear winner. It was Sean Penn. Like from the moment he talks in that movie, the weird way he carries himself in that film, the character he invented, it was like, there's no way any other actor can beat this. And don't get me wrong, Jacob Elordi was incredible in Frankenstein. Delroy, what's his name? Delroy, I feel bad, I don't know his name. But,
Delroy Lindo.
I will say Delroy Lindo, I felt needed more in Sinners. Like he was great. He was amazing in Sinners, but I felt like he needed more to do in that movie, as opposed to Sean Penn, who just decimates everybody in that movie, and nothing like him in real life. You know, just this disgusting, horrible character he created. And yeah. And he said he purposely made him that way. He goes, because you're not supposed to like this guy. This is a horrible person. And he goes, and there's people out there that are like this. He said, so I had to do my best to make it as disgusting as I possibly could. And of course, he wasn't there to accept his award. I've heard rumors of where he was. I don't know the full story, but yeah, so he was not there. Would have been cool if Jacob Elordi won for Frankenstein. Great performance by him, but sad to say he's young, so he'll probably be winning an Oscar down the road one of these days. And I'm all by myself talking to myself. That's chaos theory. Come on, that's a good joke. Zach, thanks for calling me out, saying I'm going to run through I ran through windows. No, unfortunately, I am not a professional stunt person, although I probably should be a professional stunt person because I am not that tall. So me trying to pretend like I'm a young kid and a little kid running through a window might look realistic. Cool. David was running all this, so I'm trying to think of oh wait, here we go. Let's go to Best Actress. The nominees for Best Actress were Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Let me get this up here. I apologize, everybody. We're having some technical difficulties over here, so just give me one quick second. Yeah, best actress, Rose Byrne was nominated for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue. Renette Renvisby for Sentimental Value. Emma Stone for Begonia. And Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. And of course, Jessie Buckley won. And if you saw this movie, you would understand completely why she won. She was incredible. It was a heartbreaking performance, also a weird performance. She's a little out there for this part. The character is a little weird, but she was absolutely incredible in this film, and a much deserved win. I didn't see any of the other movies, unfortunately, but yeah, when you watch this film, it's totally understandable why she's the clear cut winner. Rose Byrne, it was nice to see her get a nomination. As y'all know, she was in episode 2. She played one of Padme's thank you. One of Padme's helpers in the movies. She has a few lines at the beginning of Attack of the Clones. So I thought that was really, really nice that she was that she got a nomination. Yes, Zach, vroom vroom, I made it. I was able to find the nominees and bring them up very, very quickly. And so now it's time for the next category, which was Best Actor. And I know this one was controversial only because of what Timothée Chalamet has recently has has recently said. But the nominees were Timothée Chalamet, Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. And of course, the winner for Best Actor was Michael B. Jordan. And David's back. David, how are you?
I am back. I had to take care of something right quick. Thank you, James, for keeping the podcast going. Michael B. Jordan, big winner. I think maybe the biggest winner last night.
Yes.
And I told you this, James. I really felt like it was Timothée Chalamet's to lose. I think you disagree. But all the hype and all the momentum was behind Timmy. And then he made that comment about the ballet and opera. And it seemed like his stock just plummeted. And everyone was acting like, oh my gosh, I think that lost him the Oscar. And that might have swayed some people to vote for Michael instead of Timmy. And you said, of course, he deserved it. He had a great performance. Yes. But a lot of the time, the people that win the Oscar aren't the people that really should win it. And this would have been one of those times. But fortune was in the favor of Michael B. Jordan. He played Smoke and Stack to perfection, you can say, for the movie Sinners. And he's been a frequent collaborator with Ryan Coogler. He won for Best Adapted Screenplay. And this, to me, I think Sinners will be remembered further along down the line than One Battle After Another. So that's why I thought Sinners was needed to probably win more awards. And it reminded me of, like, I mean, this isn't on the level of Star Wars or anything, but it did remind me of Star Wars, where George Lucas should have won Best Director. If Timmy would have won, we would have looked back and said, well, Michael B. Jordan should have won for Smoke and Stack and Sinners. Yeah. So he did all the work. He got validated. The room shook, allegedly, when they announced his name. Adrian Brody was hilarious when he came up there with the gum. He won last year. He threw the gum to his wife or fiance, or whoever he was with. But this time he swallowed it, and he said, oh, well, I got a few things to say. And he pulled out all these papers that were all wrinkled up and with all this writing on them. And everyone started laughing. And then the band was playing them off, which was hilarious. And then he's like, I do have something very important to say. And the nominees are, and everyone laughed. And it was a great moment. Maybe an all-time moment. I don't know. But then, of course,
it's going to be one of those moments. Yeah.
Yeah. He pointed to Michael B. Jordan right away. And you could see Pedro Pascal reach over and like tap him on the back. And Ryan Coogler got up in his face, and they hugged it out, because this was the pinnacle of their journey that started out so many years ago, decades ago, really. It feels like. And yeah, his mom was there, and you could see Tiana Taylor pumping him up. Leonardo DiCaprio instantly shot up when he won. And of course, Timmy was there, and he had a good face on. I mean, he wasn't like, oh man, I should have won or anything. Because I think people are probably telling him, yeah, this is yours. It's yours to lose, really. And he did lose it. Whether it is the comment that he made affected it or not, it really felt like he had all the momentum. But Michael B. Jordan, in the end, took it home. And I'm happy for him. He did the whole in and out after the award show. had the Academy Award. He was ordering, people were freaking out, taking pictures, and I'm happy for him, man, because yeah, he delivered an incredible dual performance in that film. And like I said earlier, this movie is going to be remembered and rewatched and studied. And Ryan Coogler essentially made like his own like little like universe, you know? I mean, they could, because they mentioned Al Capone, they mentioned one of the brothers working for him in Chicago, and they could do prequels or sequels or whatever they want to do with that. And in I think 25 years, the rights will go back to Ryan Coogler, and he will be able to make money, all the money off of it, which is like a historic deal that he struck with Warner Brothers there. And a lot of people weren't happy about that, but I mean, this is a film about his heritage, the history, the long, complicated, very painful history of African Americans, and that's all baked in. And it's one of those movies that it will carry on. So that's my spiel. What do you got, James?
I was gonna say, I think Timothée Chalamet. I mean, it was his opinion what he said about the ballet and opera, which I mean, his opinion. It's what he thinks. Maybe not the best thing to say during an Oscar run, because they've actually found clips of him saying the same thing over the past few years. So this was nothing new. This is not a new opinion that he has. But I feel it wasn't what he said that made him lose the Oscar. I think it was the fact that all these allegations about Josh Safdie have recently come out. Because if you look at the run, they stopped winning once all this came out about Safdie, and how the two Safdie brothers didn't work together this year. One worked on the Smashing Machine, and one did Marty Supreme, and they both directed Uncut Gems before this together. And then another one called Good Times, which is where this event happened, which is why Benny Safdie, who was in Oppenheimer, didn't want to work with his brother on this one. So once these allegations came out, it felt like a lot of the Marty Supreme hype stopped. And then Timothy saying this, I don't think helped him either. So for me, it felt like you said, David, the momentum was there. I mean, I still remember driving to work and seeing Marty Supreme banners flying around all around Hollywood, and it was everywhere. It felt like it was everywhere you looked was Marty Supreme.
The marketing was
when that happened,
phenomenal.
Yeah, marketing was insane. Yeah, but then once that happened, done. There was nothing. No billboards. All the billboards looked like they got taken down. Bus put pictures got taken down. So we'll never know. We'll never really know what killed it for him, but something did. And but then again, when I watched Sinners, I was like, this is great. This is a good performance by Michael B. Jordan. He's playing two completely different people, and it was great. I thought it was a really, really great performance by him. And yeah, when he won, you could see that reaction from the crowd. Like, they were genuinely super happy for him to be winning. So yeah,
feels so great for him. All right, did you cover Best Actress?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let's see. I guess all that's left to cover. There are two more categories here. Best Director.
Best Director, yep.
The nominees were Hamnet, Marty Supreme. Actually, I should probably say the names. Hamnet, Chloe Zhao, Marty Supreme, Josh Safdie. One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson. Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier. Sinners, Ryan Coogler. Now, I thought it was between PTA and Ryan Coogler, and of course, PTA got the award.
Again. I mean, his second win for the night.
Yes. You got two trophies.
I'm not going to lie. I was a little shocked.
At this point.
I was a little shocked that he won, because I thought they were going to split director. I thought they were going to do Best Director to Ryan Coogler, Best Picture to One Battle After Another, or vice versa. I mean, of course, we know what happened at the end, but I thought these two movies were going to split these two categories. But yeah, P.T. Anderson won. I think not rightfully so. It wasn't like after all this time, it was a great movie. One Battle After Another was a great movie, and it was a rare movie for P.T. Anderson to make, because sometimes his movies, when they end, you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like when There'll Be Blood ends, you're just like, okay, that was great. A great performance by Daniel Day-Lewis, but the story, you're just kind of like, oh, okay. But this one, when it ended, you're just like, yes, you felt like you accomplished something when you finished this movie. And I was really glad I liked it. And yeah, I think it was a well-deserved win. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, PTA has been around for a very long time. The fact that he has not won a single Oscar, like an individual Oscar, just kind of made no sense. It was almost like a Martin Scorsese type of situation, because he didn't win for a long time either until The Departed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he's already been one of the big time directors, one of the directors that all the big time actors always seek out, they want to work with. So I mean, even before winning last night, he was one of the guys. So it was really cool to see Coogler and PTA win statues and just kind of cement their
Yes.
legacy. And you don't have to worry about like, okay, well, they don't have awards. We can kind of get over that. And whoever has, I mean, you always want the best piece of art to win, but then you go back to, well, what is that really? It's all subjective. But I mean, if you get the right number of voters, there's like hundreds of voters, right, for this. So
A lot. 11,000 voters for this.
11,000. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I met
yeah.
one voter. I don't know if I told you that.
No, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, I met a voter. He was a DP, older man, much like in his 80s, and he told me what he voted for best cinematography, and he voted for Frankenstein. He said he thought Frankenstein was the better film, and but anyways, just saying, they're everywhere. I mean, there's just people who worked in the industry are invited to be members of the Academy, and they watch every film and they vote for them. And it is weird that you said P.T. Anderson hadn't won. I mean, he directed Boogie Nights,
Magnolia,
There Will Be Blood, Magnolia.
Spanglish.
No, he didn't do Spanglish.
Oh, you didn't do Spanglish? Who did Spanglish?
No. James L. Brooks.
Did he have no involvement in that? Punch Drunk Love. Okay.
Yeah.
We talked about this before.
But Punch Drunk Love is also an incredible movie. That may be one of the ones where it ends, you're kind of happy with the way it is. But his other movies, they end, you're just kind of like, yeah, man, it's kind of depressing. But did you see Phantom Thread?
I haven't seen it, but I've been told it's very good after the fact, after all the awards like season was done. I've been told by a few people that it's like, bro, it could have won.
It's incredible.
A lot.
But it's also a really creepy story. Like it's kind of like when it's over, you're just kind of like, ew. And it's inspired by, he was sick one day and Maya Rudolph, his wife, was taking care of him, and he looked at her and he was like, I've never felt such love and warmth from you ever until this moment. Like how she was caring for him because he was really sick. And he told her that, and she was like, oh, okay. And then so then he wrote a movie based around something like that. And of course it's really twisted, but Daniel Day-Lewis just destroys in that movie. I wanted him to win over Gary Oldman that year for when Gary Oldman played Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
I thought Daniel Day-Lewis gave the best performance that year, but anyways.
Yeah. All right.
And then
next category,
Best Picture,
is the big one, Best Picture. The nominees were Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Plus sentimental value. I skipped them.
Oh, okay.
So the big winner was, of course, One Battle After Another.
Nice. Yeah. Like I said, it's great. I love that movie. I thought it was great. I love both. And that's where I was torn, because I really loved Sinners and One Battle After Another quite a bit. Tiana Miller Tiana Taylor almost knocked over P.T. Anderson walking up on the stage.
But you had him in a headlock.
she had him in a headlock, and he was.
Let me ask you this, James.
Over.
So there were 3
What's up?
statues, and I think I can answer my own question here by just looking at the Hollywood Reporter. So the statues should have been handed out to Adam Sumner, Sarah Murphy, and Paul Thomas Anderson. But one of
Yes.
those people didn't get their award. Tiana Taylor's holding it.
Yes.
Maybe she's just holding it for Sarah Murphy there.
Maybe
speaks, because of those awards are pretty heavy, and some people are like putting them on the ground. I was like, oh, I don't know if I would do that, but
yeah, they weigh. I think they weigh about 9 pounds.
Yeah,
but it was funny that she got the trophy and just held on to it. It's like, okay,
yeah. I was
And
like,
I was
you're supposed to hand that off to the person that it goes to.
Yeah, that was a little, but it's fun. I think it's all a good fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Maybe
yeah,
pass it off to a fellow actor, and then that they pass. I mean, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
DiCaprio, he was just like, yeah, I'm here. You know, because I'm here. It's like he knew.
I don't
like,
know. I think that's just his face. He has a very like neutral looking expression on his face when he's just there.
Nice.
But I think he's all
And
about
then,
this. I think he loves the fact that his movie won Best Picture, and I think jumping up and down, and he's just trying to be he's just trying to show some class and be respectful of everyone else, and I think that's just who he is.
Mm.
And Benicio in the back, man, he did a tremendous job too.
Oh yeah, he was great in that movie. He was that whole cast was, which again, it won Best Casting. Chase Infinity there, whom I thought should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress instead of Tiana Taylor. I liked her, but I thought Chase Infinity was the better performer in the movie, if you may. But yeah, awesome. Good win.
Yep, for sure.
Did Sinners get nominated for everything? It was good, but it wasn't spectacular to me. Sinners did get nominated for a lot of awards. And I've heard a lot of mixed things about Sinners. Some people who were like, I don't get what the point. I don't know why people went crazy over this. It wasn't even that great. I've heard the same thing about One Battle After Another. And like David said, it's all subjective. It's really all what's a good movie, you know, like what's my favorite movie of all time is different from what David's favorite movie of all time is. But that doesn't mean my movie's worse than what his is. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, everybody just has an opinion, and this is just an award that this Academy feels is the best movie of the year. So yeah.
And for me, I mean, as getting older, I look at like the Oscars getting nominated. Yeah, that's the great achievement, because, you know, I mean, it's like who wins this? I mean, you're not scoring points. You're not. I mean, it's not like sports. Yeah. So just getting in that room, man, and getting your name in there, you're always going to be Academy Award nominated actor or director. Academy Award nominated is always going to be in your title. So that's just great right there. When I was younger, I didn't think that way, but yeah, now I think that way. Because it's so hard to make a movie, and it's almost impossible to make a great movie.
So they were, I forget which outlet was on the red carpet asking, what movie would you retroactively give an Oscar to? Like that wasn't given an Oscar. Like what movie or who would you give an Oscar to? And some people had some pretty good answers. Mm-hmm. Chase Infinity said Best Picture for Ratatouille. I think she said because she loves that movie.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, and I have my answer. What would you would you give an Oscar to?
The first one that jumps to my head, of course, is George Lucas, Best Director, Star Wars. The other one that jumps to my head is Picture for Goodfellas.
Yeah. Somebody said Goodfellas on the red carpet. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Martin Scorsese for any myriad of films he's done before he went for The Departed. Also, that one year that Shakespeare in Love won over Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan, I think. You disagree, James?
No. I'm mad, man. Okay. Because did you see Harrison Ford's face when he said Shakespeare in Love? Like, he looked so disappointed. He's like, and the Oscar goes to Shakespeare in Love, and then he called out the names, and you can just tell everybody was like, "Are you serious?" Yeah.
Mind blowing. People will argue that maybe Crash shouldn't have won Best Picture, but I personally love that movie. I remember seeing that movie, and I was like, "This is really great." I loved it with Michael Pena and Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock wasn't that great in it, but and then Brendan Fraser was in it. Just the story.
She wasn't. Yeah,
Matt Dillon.
It was great. Who else? Tanny Newton.
Yeah, Tanny Newton. She's an awesome actress.
Brought it back to Star Wars. Terrence Howard. Okay, again, David, thank you, because I also really loved Crash. I thought that was a great movie, and when it won Best Picture, I watched it later and said, "Yes, this movie deserved Best Picture." It was a great story. It was a great movie. It was a very important movie, and everyone hated it. And I'm like, I was, and even what made me mad was Paul Haggis, the director and screenwriter, was like, "Yeah, Brokeback Mountain should have won instead of our movie." And I'm like, bruh, I don't know. Ang Lee did win Best Director for Brokeback Mountain, so I mean that was And have you seen Brokeback Mountain? When I had this conversation,
so when I was at this point in time, I would always go to this one particular website that was a huge fan of Ang Lee and started like hyping up Brokeback like a long time before it came out. And I'm like, what is Brokeback Mountain about? And then, of course, you find out through the media, it's Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger, and they're lovers. And it's like, whoa, that's wild. But the rumor was it was a great script, a great story. And when you watch the film, it's like, oh my gosh. It's like it was something I had never really thought of or considered to be like a real world story. And then you think about it and you're like, this feels like this could have been, this could have happened, you know? I mean, all the markers were there. And of course, Ang Lee is an incredible director. And then he did Life of Pi afterwards, and I thought that was terrific. But yeah, I saw it pretty early on, and I was like, wow, this is a tremendous film. Wasn't sure about like who should get nominated per se, but did any of the cast get nominated for Brokeback?
They all three of them did. Anne Hathaway got nominated for no. Michelle Williams got nominated for supporting actress. Jake Gyllenhaal got nominated for supporting actor, and Heath Ledger was nominated for actor. And Heath Ledger did not want to win. He was like, I don't want any of the I did this role not for the awards, you know. And he hated that whole Oscar season. And I watched it years later. Unfortunately, I watched it because it was one of those things, you know, in the house. Oh, you can't watch this. And I watched it, and I was like, hey, this is pretty great. It's a pretty good story. And Heath Ledger was incredible in that movie. And fun fact, that's what Christopher Nolan watched and said, this guy could play the Joker. Like that was the movie that made him say this guy could do it. And so yeah. What's another year? So here's my pick for who should have won, like nominated and win. Irvin Kershner for Best Director for Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
I mean,
slam dunk.
You watched that movie today and you're still like, good grief. Like Irvin Kershner like directed the hell out of that movie. And for me, that's like one of those awards that he should have been recognized and should have received. But unfortunately, it was after Star Wars, and they were comparing it to Star Wars and A New Hope. And so it was like, I don't think there was even an Oscar push for him for Best Director. And then I think Steven Spielberg for Jaws. I think he should have been nominated, won, and also won for Jaws. But George Lucas is, of course, a no-brainer. Like Woody Allen, really? How many people still watch Annie Hall to this day? I don't. I've never even seen Annie Hall.
Wait a minute. I was at Annie Hall Celebration the other day, and I had to get online really quick and get those tickets.
You've made
I got all my Annie Hall merch. I got Annie Hall pins.
Yeah, I got my poster over here on the wall of Annie Hall.
It's like, you can't see it on camera, but it's off to the side there. Yeah, Annie Hall Con. Annie Hall Celebration is a must. Is a bucket list.
That's one of the most upsetting things, like, I think, in Oscar history. I mean, minus Saving Private Ryan not winning Best Picture and Goodfellas not winning Best Picture, but still, it's like, come on. But yeah, I thought that was a good question somebody asked on the red carpet, and I was thinking about that. Like, what would I have picked? So for me, it was a no-brainer. What awards did The Last Jedi get robbed of?
I got another one. Not for Best Animated, but for Best Picture. Up from Pixar. Just
For Best
overall,
Picture?
Yeah. I thought it was tremendous, man. I think that was the year. That was the first year they had 10 nominations, and for Best Picture, which they need to do that for Best Director, don't you think? I mean, Best Picture has 10, Best Director should probably do 10 as well.
I agree.
Wouldn't that make sense a little bit? I think so.
Okay, it was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, that's how good that movie was, man. Who were the other nominees, and who won that year?
For that year, this would have been, I think this would have been the Hurt Locker year.
Yeah.
And Avatar that year as well. But yeah, Up and Toy Story 3. Like, if Pixar had made Toy Story 3 Up and then said, okay, we're shutting down shop, I would have been like, that's a good run. That's a good run for an animated movie.
I mean, yes, Toy Story 3 is a great film. Toy Story 3 really yanked hard at my emotions, man. And I was like, dude, I'm going to freaking cry in this theater for these toys that are about to get burned alive.
But okay, so here's my thing about Toy Story 3. I wasn't going to cry when they were about to get burned alive, because in my brain, I'm like, there's no way they're going to show this. And they get saved, of course, by the claw. What killed me watching Toy Story 3 was when Andy has that last adventure with kids, with him and Bonnie. And I was about to weep, like, not cry. I was about to ugly cry. Watch this movie,
and you could feel it in the crowd, man.
Yes,
nobody was laughing. Everybody going through that same emotion, and it's like, oh.
And then he goes to wave goodbye, and she picks up Woody's hand and waves, and he like does like he's taking it back, and I'm like, bruh, give me a chance. I'm just trying to enjoy this movie, and I'm about to weep. And yeah, it's a great movie. What awards did The Last Jedi get robbed of? It got robbed of visual effects and best score, which I thought it should have won for best score, because I thought the score in The Last Jedi was absolutely incredible, and visual effects, and the visual effects in that movie look amazing too. I forget, there's another, I think it was nominated for like 3 Oscars. Should I do my vroom vroom like Zach likes to say on here? The Last Jedi. Oh, I think it's sound. I think you got a sound nominee as well. So it's nominated for 4 Oscars. It was nominated for Best Achievement in Visual Effects, Best Score, Best Sound Editing, and Sound Mixing. So, and honestly, I'm just going to throw it out there. And I know y'all are like, really? Those technical awards for that movie, I felt it should have won for. I mean, you can be like, it's a terrible film, but those 4 categories in The Last Jedi, it's like the score, the visual effects, the sound editing, and sound mixing of The Last Jedi, I think are absolutely insane. So, and you know what? I know you were joking, but I'm just gonna be sincere about this, Zach, on YouTube. Oh, and fun fact, you pointed out, or did I point it out? The original trilogy, each movie received an Oscar nomination. The sequel trilogy, each movie received an Oscar nomination. 0. Oh, no. I'm going to take that back. No, they did receive Oscar nominations. They didn't win anything. And then technically the sequels didn't win anything either. So just the original trilogy is the only one that's won Oscars.
Whoa.
That's a shame. Yeah, the original trilogy is the only Star Wars trilogy that's won Oscars. The sequels didn't win anything. And then the prequels didn't win anything. Wow. That's a sad fact. Anyways, So that was our Oscar discussion.
Our Oscar recap there. Yeah, I think Mary said she had to leave, but she might be back. Yeah, very interesting show. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the opening with the weapons opening. I got to see the first award because I'm subscribed to Hulu, and when you look at all the advertisements, it says ABC plus Hulu. So I had the red carpet like intro on, and I thought I was just going to bleed into the award show. It didn't. I couldn't find it on Hulu, so I had to buy YouTube TV to actually watch it. I tried as hard as I could. I read every description for every bundle, and it never gave me the option for Hulu Live. I think that's what it was on essentially, and I think it's going away. So I don't know. So we had to pay like $80 for YouTube, but yeah, it looks like Mary's back.
Mary's back. Well, I got lucky. I was able to watch it on Hulu, and yeah, it was a good show. Hello.
Hi. What did I miss?
Welcome back. You missed.
We were handing out podcast awards, and we were about to hand out best female podcaster in a Star Wars podcast.
Star Wars Meg.
Starts with an M.
Yeah, Meg.
Star Wars Mary.
That's nice.
Here's your award, a ketchup from Whataburger.
I love
You'll
ketchup.
be able to use this ketchup when you come to Texas for
Yay. Too funny.
No, Zach, I did not win any awards. I hope to one day. That's like a life goal for me is to win an Oscar. I know some people dream about the foot, being a football player, winning the Super Bowl, winning
World Series.
What's
NBA
the other
Finals,
one? World Series. For me, it's always been the Oscars. So that's been my dream. So I don't know. I'm getting older, but doesn't mean anything. I'm still here, so we'll see what happens. Oh, hey Mary, this is the best thing anybody could have said. You missed a lot, but we missed you. But there is a question mark at the end, so I don't know. It's like we missed you.
That's why I was like, I don't know how to respond to that. Thank you. I missed you too.
Maybe we missed you.
My day job was calling me. I had to answer the call.
She had to take the answer.
I had to take the answer from the call.
But yeah, we just ended off the. How did you feel about One Battle After Another winning director and picture?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I felt like either they were going to landslide or Sinners was going to landslide. And when Sinners got the 2, and then it's like one battle after the other, one battle after the other, I was like, yep, it just kind of feels like on par for the Oscars. Like, I feel like they all pick one favorite movie and just give it everything. Like one year it was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Right? Didn't they?
That was
do
a
the
good
same
movie,
thing?
though.
It was. And so it was one battle after the other. But I feel like the Oscars definitely do that. They just pick their favorite movie that year and just give it everything.
Except
so for me, it's more impressive. Shakespeare in Love.
Okay.
Except for, I think it's more impressive the ones that win that isn't a part of that movie. Like F1 winning something. That's way more impressive because what else were they even nominated for?
Best Picture and Best Visual Effects.
Yeah.
Best Picture. Really? You got to nominate F1 for Best Picture, but not Avatar, Fire, and Ash? Like that felt like that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved Avatar, Fire, and Ash.
Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't win more. That one, I think out of all the Avatars, it's probably my favorite.
Nice. David, what do you think?
About what in particular?
Out of all the Avatars, which one's your favorite?
Well, I haven't seen Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Whoa. You know what I really want to see? Project Hail Mary. Is it good, David?
I was able to see it via Countdown City Geeks. I don't
want to hear anything. I'm going to turn off my mic. And
I won't spoil anything.
Spoiler-free review.
It's this is the first time I kind of talk about it publicly, but Ryan Gosling, terrific performance. It's amazing when you see him like on stage at Star Wars Celebration. He's very kind of straight laced and not really animated. In this film, he kind of conveys. I mean, he's acting, of course, but I mean, he's way more animated than you see him. But he's not over the top. That's the thing about this movie. There's gags, but they're riding a fine line to be over the top. The beginning of the movie very much surprised me what they did, but yeah, it was solid. It was really solid. People want to say it's like a mix of maybe like Interstellar, like a dose of that, plus maybe The Martian, plus maybe another space movie out there, but it was very much Lord and Miller. You can very much tell they were behind it. I'll say that. But they rode that line of going a little overboard on some of these jokes. But I think they all worked. The science was cool. And there was a real world feeling to it, the way they went about solving the problems. Because when I solve problems at my job all the time, and I start off from scratch. I don't know a lot of what I'm about to put together, but when I do the research and I figure out this goes with that, this can help that, and this definitely encompasses everything that is about the problem, and then you find the solution. It's that, and you see a lot of utilization of the resources around them, and you kind of see a little bit of the genius behind Ryland Grace, who Gosling plays, and it's cool to see. But the thing that is the biggest achievement, I think, is the relationship and the
Don't say it.
and the emotional pull that you get from.
Don't say it.
Well, I mean,
Don't do it.
It's in the trailer.
No. Some people have avoided the trailers for that reason. I think people, and I'm mad that they did show that in the trailer. I think that should have been never shown ever in the trailer. Was that?
I don't even know
was
what
that
you guys are
reveal.
talking about.
That's good.
Exit.
Because
Exit.
when I read the book as soon as it came out, like it was one of those things. My Audible was like, "Oh,
So
hey,
you already
Andy
know.
Weir." I know, but for people in the chat, I don't want people to know what happens and what happens halfway through. Because when that moment happened, I was in my car driving as I had it on Audible. When that moment happened, I was like, what is this? Because the movie, if the book feels like it's this, and you're like, this is great. This is very, very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But then when this happens, you're just like, did not see it coming. And then it shifts and it's beautiful and it's incredible. And I'm really sad that in the promotional,
I want to know.
No, I don't want you to know.
Text me.
It's one of those things where.
Hey,
How dare
Mary,
you withhold
you're gonna love
information?
it. You're gonna love it, Mary. You might buy the merch.
Ooh.
And
So,
no joke.
That's how
no
you know
joke.
if I like something.
Project Hail Mary. That's very true. She's gonna have a whole poster behind her.
You know, I like something if I buy merch of it.
Yep. So yeah. Oh, somebody has we need to pick best actor out of all the Star Wars movies, best supporting actor. Yeah, we need to do one of those episodes where we list
Carrie
all the
Fisher.
actors and all the directors.
Carrie Fisher. What was the other ones? Hold on, go back. Go back. There it is. Best actor, Carrie Fisher. Best supporting actor, Mark Hamill. Yeah.
which movie though?
Oh, and he's gone. Where'd he go? Oh, he
He's
left
still
the
there.
stage. Oh. And A New Hope.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth. Best Star Wars movie: Star Wars, A New Hope, or Empire Strikes Back. I think Empire Strikes Back would win the award for best Star Wars movie, but I wouldn't go wrong with Leia.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely. I mean, she was really one of the first female heroines.
Yeah.
All the way back in 1977. it was something new and fresh. It helped the movie, helped the dynamic between the three stars. So yeah, I would go with Carrie Fisher. I have no problem with that. But best supporting, I wouldn't go Mark Hamill because I don't think he ever really was supporting in the original trilogy. But if you're going with the sequels, I mean, maybe. Ironically enough, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
He was great in that. Even though I think a lot of people didn't like the story material, but I mean, he really was shockingly great as an actor in that movie. But yeah, I would say maybe Harrison Ford in A New Hope, best supporting.
Yeah.
He was great in that. That's I think really kind of when he blew up in the eye of the public.
Really? Not American Graffiti?
American Graffiti, he was barely in it.
Yeah, but that's like what I know him from. Like that was my Harrison Ford, American Graffiti. Like that's what I associate him with.
Huh.
And
Well,
then
he wasn't a
Star Wars
star.
and then Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah, he's barely in American Graffiti, so I mean, I think he's just in it for a few moments and not
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
He's always the supporting.
Yeah, I would say supporting. Best director is interesting though for Star Wars.
Ooh.
James
why
mentioned
James
earlier,
left.
Irvin Kershner for Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I kind of would
Ah,
put the nod. Maybe. I mean, it's so hard to. I mean, you're really slicing hairs here because the original A New Hope, George Lucas. I mean, how can you go? How can you choose against him? But I mean, Empire is just such a bold and just totally unique direction they take after the first one. So,
yeah.
yeah,
Valid.
yeah.
All right.
Right. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about as far as the Oscars go? Because I
No.
think we covered a whole lot. We talked about
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan going to In and Out. We showed a picture. We talked about RDJ showing up all in green.
Dr. Doom.
Yep. And we're definitely looking forward to that.
Yes.
And yeah, that was the Oscars 2026. I think it'll be remembered for Sinners and One Battle After Another. And maybe over time, it's I think it's going to be one of those situations where people are going to think Sinners won the best picture.
Yeah.
And One Battle is going to kind of fade away a little bit. Like how people think
Oh,
La La
agreed.
Land won and what was the other movie called?
I don't remember.
Moonlight, right? Moonlight?
No.
Yeah, see, we don't remember. I think it was
That's
Moonlight.
what I'm saying. Like Sinners is in the public eye, Sinners is the winner.
Yeah.
One Battle After Another is just the Academy's like favorites, you know?
Yeah.
One thing I was going to mention about these Oscars that I thought was actually really good versus ones in the past is like Conan was on it. His humor, his jokes were so on par and so relevant. And he was like not afraid at all, which I found so entertaining and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was like right out the gate, he already started talking ish to Timothy Chalamet and stuff. And like when the Sinners performance came on, to have the ballet artist like right up front and center, right where he was sitting, I was like, oh, that's so intentional and that's pure gold.
And you did notice the
hilarious.
ballerina in the Sinners performance, right? She came out right at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
And stuff. And like his comment about like no British nominations, British actors were nominated and stuff. I thought that was hilarious. Like not afraid at all.
Yep, for sure. And just to go back to Timothy Chalamet's comments, I think they were said really in jest, and I don't think he really meant what he said. But I mean, when you're that high profile, like you said, if you say something like that, it's gonna be heard by everyone, and it's gonna reverberate through popular media, and people are gonna comment on it. But I mean, if you think about it, it's shining a light on ballet and opera now. And Conan's joke was so funny. He was like,
They're just mad
he
you didn't
forgot
bring
to
up
mention
jazz.
the jazz community.
They're just mad that you didn't bring up jazz.
Yeah. And I actually met a ballerina at South by Southwest,
Funny.
and she brought
That's
it
so
up to me, and she's like, yeah, if you want to take a class, and she's like, I do this type of ballet, and
Are you going to
she's
take
like,
a ballet class? David, are you going to take a ballet class?
no,
Do
but
it.
she wanted
Do
me
it.
to. But see, the thing,
You
then
never
Ted
know.
was
It might
there
have been
too.
your secret. It might be your secret talent. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. What was I about to say?
Timothy Chalamet might be talking about you.
So that ballerina told me there was actually ballet students in the crowd of that town hall, which made it worse.
Oh,
So it's like she was like, know your audience, bro.
literally. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. We'll never know. James kind of mentioned it. We'll never know. He would have never said any of that. But then, of course, there's like a Safdie controversy in there too, baked in that I wasn't even really aware of. But I mean,
I did not enjoy Marty Supreme. I know I talked to you guys about it in the text. It was just a lot of yelling. I had so much anxiety. I was just like, why? Why is everyone so loud?
Yeah.
I should have brought my loops like I was going to a concert or something.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's the show. The Oscars 2026 recap. Thank you everyone for joining us. Comment on who you thought should have won. If you agree with us, let us know. I think, like we said at the beginning, everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own like flavor that they like, and some of us agree with the winners, and some of us don't. So,
Rocky Road.
Yeah. You
That's
know, I
my
like
favorite
vanilla.
Rocky Road.
I've always liked vanilla the most.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I guess I'm just.
Do you add like mix-ins? Do you at least like put stuff on it?
I mean, I'm the kind of person that if I'm gonna eat something, I want to like it. I want to be sure that I like it. I don't like trying new stuff a lot.
Whoa.
Unless it's like free. Then I'm like, okay, I'm not wasting my money here.
I love trying new stuff. Like I will try to go somewhere new every single time. Like when I'm in San Antonio, I already have a list of 25 different coffee shops that I'm going to do a coffee crawl at for while I'm there. So I hope you're ready to try a ton of coffee.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A new addiction awaits.
Yay.
All right. So for James, Mary, my name is David. And how should we sign this one off?
You didn't do the outro where everyone can find us.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to find us, we hopefully have everything that I can pull up here. YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, comment, like, subscribe, like I said earlier. Instagram, we're usually talking about Star Wars Stuff Pod. Twitter, we're at Stuff Pod. If I can bring it up here. The wrong button. Stuff Pod. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Threads. Star Wars Stuff Pod. We have Patreon, where we put a bunch of Star Wars Stuff podcasts on. You can find us at starstuffpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook. We have a group and a page. You'll see most of our posts there. We're also on a website called StarWarsStuffPodcast.com. So check all that out. Also, our friends at CountdownCityGeeks.com. I'm currently at South by Southwest watching films. Took a little bit of today off to do this podcast and talk with you guys, but I'll probably be back tomorrow.
Thank you.
At the Alamo Draft House on Lamar. So look for me there. And that's pretty much it.
Cool. Now people know where to find us.
Yep. All right. And like I said, for James, Mary, thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you on the next podcast.
Pew, pew, pew.